Behind me sit three ultra high performance black on black SUVs that I'm super stoked to share some info with you guys on today. We've got a 2020 Jaguar F-Pace SVR, we've got a 2020 Maserati Levante GTS, and we've got a 2019 AMG GLC63 S as well. Today we're going to compare the three of them, walk through a little bit of the features, show some of the differences and some of the things they have to highlight. Let's jump right on into it. Behind door number one, we have got the 2020 F-Pace SVR, and this is a fantastic entry point into the super SUV space. This thing has a 5-liter supercharged V8, puts out about 550 horsepower, and it's got a 8-speed ZF gearbox made it up to that. It's a super common gearbox. It's found in a lot of stuff, including this right here, because it is so fantastic. All-wheel drive, lots of creature comforts, and some really cool styling. This thing goes 0 to 60 in approximately 4.1 seconds. It had an approximate MSRP of around $92,000. One of my favorite things, if we come take a peek here, we take a look, I love the red interior. We've got diamond stitch on the seats, along with all of the red accenting on the doors. There's lots of LED lighting, tons and tons to offer. The interior in this car is a very nice place to spend time. It's got tons and tons of space as well. If you take a look, you still have proper bucket seats in the rear too, which is absolutely fantastic. As well as this car has got a lot of trunk space. If you take a peek back here, it is a very large car. It moves very well for how large it is, but we still do have lots and lots to offer. This particular car has around 120,000 kilometers, and it shows very well for the mileage, especially for being black paint. Obviously it's winter here in Alberta, and we do have 2 sets of wheels for it as well. It's the factory SVR wheels and then the fast wheels that are on it right now with winter tires. These cars have great performance for what they are. Lots of the creature comforts, pretty much any modern luxury feature you can think of this car has, including your heads-up display, all your park assist and lane departure, all of those things. Overall it is a very fantastic choice for a super SUV, especially looking at the price bracket. Option number 2 is the 2020 Maserati Levante GTS. This is kind of the highest spec and the highest price point of what we've got to look at here today. This has an original MSRP of around $123,000, and it shows. It is an absolutely beautiful car. I love the way this thing is styled, and it has some kind of fact stuff behind it that really make it a fantastic car. This shares the Ferrari F154 engine, which has derivatives found in the 488 and GTB and the 488 Pista, found in the California T, found in the Portofino, found in the GT4C Lusso, and a bunch of the other twin-turbo Ferrari cars. This has an engine very similar. It's based on the same platform. Of course, it's slightly revised for this chassis, but that's a super cool thing to have this much of a high revving 3.8 liter twin turbo V8 and all that offers. It is the most exciting and funnest engine to drive of these 3 cars in my opinion. This thing is very comfy. The interior is very comfy. It's currently priced here at approximately 75 grand with around 40,000 kilometers. And I really like the way this thing's styled. I can't speak highly enough. This thing looks so good, and it is very quick. We've got approximately 550 horsepower being made from that 3.8 liter twin turbo V8, along with a ZF 8-speed transmission in this as well. It's the same as what's in the SVR, and it's the same as a ton of other things in here. Like even just looking in this room, these 2 cars have it. So does the M8 back there, so does the Demon back there. Pretty much very widespread, very widespread. This car obviously has the bigger wheels, being that it is the GTS, along with a couple of the styling cues specific to the GTS. This one, I don't think it's on all of them, but it does have the tricolore on the 3 vents here along the side, which is very cool. It is also on winter tires and very winter ready. This thing's on air suspension from factory as well, so it can raise and lower itself depending on what mode you're in, which is quite fantastic. Being that this is a car as well as a part of the FCA family, lots of parts are readily available, easy to get your hands on, and pretty decent to work on. This thing is 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, which for the size of this SUV is absolutely freaking wild. That is incredibly fast for the size of the car. And if we take a peek inside, it is super, super nice. Red stitch over black, very, very classy. Lots of carbon fiber, nice big column mounted panels, which I love about the Maserati stuff. There's not many cars that you get that. Most of them, they're mounted on the wheel, being that they're on the column in here. You're never hunting to find them. You always know where they are, and it does really make it feel very super SUV. Taking a look, the back seat in this car is quite large as well. It's got the same black diamond stitch pattern along with the red stitching. And it's a very, very nice place to be, even if you are a full-size adult. Taking a peek in back as well, you guys can see how much storage space it has to offer. So one of the nice things about the super SUV segment is these cars are all super, super practical as well. Which, if you start looking at any of the other two-seater rear-engine cars around, lots of them have similar 0 to 60s as the 3.8. You're going to see in this similar engines, as we just discussed, as you're going to see in this, but these are practical, year-round ready, all-wheel drive, and tons of fun. And then behind door number 3, the third option is absolutely fantastic. This is the 2019 GLC63 S. This car is very special because it is the coupe. This is the fastest car of the three, bar none. This thing has a 0 to 60 of 3.6 seconds, which in something that still comes in the skin of an SUV, that's wild. There's a lot of supercars that don't quite hit that metric. This thing is very, very fast for what it is. It's got a 4-liter twin-turbo V8, very similar in nature to the other two, and very, very fast. This engine is also shared with lots of Mercedes products and is overall pretty good and quite tunable. It's got a 9-speed automatic. It is still a traditional automatic like the other two options. It's not a dual clutch or anything like that, but it's very, very quick. Very, very efficient, being that it's got 9 different gear ratios, and it works quite well. Obviously, it is all-wheel drive, the same as the other two. Got fantastic styling. It is one of my favorite things about this car. If we take a peek kind of at the back, you can see when I talk about it being a coupe, you can see the roofline kind of slants down towards the back. And this car is available in a traditional SUV as well, which would be more akin to this, even though this is a pretty slope-backed SUV, but you know what I mean by the traditional kind of square-back styling. This doesn't have that. The GLC is available in a configuration with a traditional SUV, but this is much better looking in my opinion. It's much more desirable, much more rare, and it does kind of fit in with the ethos of being a performance-oriented car. This thing handles the best out of the three. We'll see that 0 to 60 time is the lowest of the three. Far and above, this thing's priced at around $72,000 with around 50,000 kilometers on it. It's got a fantastic interior. If you take a peek here, this specific car is very, very loaded. You can see all the carbon fiber trim in the middle. You've got the AMG bucket seats, which is a rare option. The standard seats aren't bad in these, but these are definitely a substantial upgrade. The original MSRP on this car is approximately $90,000, meaning it's the lowest MSRP of the three, but it's held its value incredibly well. Obviously, at this point, this is a 5-6-year-old car, and to still have a value over 70 grand, which is only about $20,000 less than it was originally worth. It goes to show, right? The coupes hold their value very, very well. These are fantastic cars, and they do quite well. You could have something like this, hold it for a while, and still do pretty good on the depreciation standpoint, depending on the mileage you put on it. In summary, all three of these cars are quite fantastic. They're all a little bit different. Some people prefer one brand over another, but they all have a lot to offer. Of course, this kind of being in the cheapest price point. If you had one similar mileage, because obviously this does have a little bit more, you'd probably be looking similar, but you'd still be in your 50s and 60s range. For the price bracket, you can't really go wrong with any of the three cars. All of them boosted V8s, all of them all-wheel drive, all of them have fantastic transmissions, tons of luxury, all of them are fairly reliable. They all have a lot to offer. If you want my personal pick, I do really like these. These are very, very fast, and I like performance-oriented cars, but the luxury that the SVR has to offer is very, very fantastic, and I love that interior. And same thing with the Maserati. It's a fantastic balance point of luxury and size, but also being super, super fast. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let us know in the comments down below, what is your pick between these three SUVs that are so incredibly similar and have so much to offer. And let us know as well if there's anything else you'd like to see for us. We are excited to keep making content. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.